Shalom.
Shalom,
First and
shalom.
foremost, we want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone are doing well. Salutation to all the brothers all over the world that preaching this truth, waking up all people, and twisting out to truth because it's just and right. To the aqua that listen and learn, and you say Shalom.
Shalom.
Now this little title, this little lesson, I will entitle it The Kingdom of Heaven. Right? The Kingdom of Heaven. And we are waiting, this Kingdom of Heaven. But to begin with, we all know that the Kingdom of Heaven will be established right here on earth. And we will inherit the earth. The Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. How is the meek going to inherit the earth? Is when Christ come and take the rulership from Esau and give it back to the Israelites. Starting with the elect, the 1/3 with the elect, and then the rest of Israel that didn't do right, they're going to be reborn in righteousness in the Kingdom of Heaven. But the Kingdom of Heaven is going to be right here on earth. And hey, it's a beautiful thing. We are waiting. And even Nebuchadnezzar said, great is the God of Daniel, and great is the high God, and his kingdom is for his dominion. Sorry, his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion from generation to generation. But Pops, you're going to bring it out. Start from verse 1.
Right. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, and verse 1.
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar, the king, unto all the people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace multiplied unto you. I thought it good to show the signs and wonders that the high God, or Yahweh, had wrought towards me. How great are his signs, and how mighty are his wonders.
This is Nebuchadnezzar. He's how great are his signs and how great are his wonders. He extolling the great God on high.
Can.
Because when he saw what the Lord could do, the God of the Hebrews could do, he said, hey, great is the God of Daniel. Go ahead.
Yes. Signs and almighty are the wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom.
This is where we get in at. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. Go ahead.
And his dominion is from generation to generation.
And his dominion is from generation to generation. Give us Psalms 105 and 27.
Psalms 105
and 27. But before you bring all that, let me just read Daniel 2 and 44. He said, in the days of these kings shall Yahweh of heaven, or the power of heaven, which is Yahweh, set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. So right now that kingdom is being set up, starting with the elect men of God, but starting with we reason up with this gospel, preaching the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You understand? We are representation of that kingdom to come. So it is already being established throughout all the earth. You understand? It's all we are waiting for is the Lord to take away the rulership from Esau and give it back to us. That is all we're waiting for. We cannot do that because we do have no might in our hand to do that. No, wait on Yahushai. That's why the Bible says, wait, I say, wait patiently on the Lord. And he shall renew your strength, right? And so I'll read over verse 44. This is Daniel 2 and 44. And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall be broken into pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. We talk about Jacob kingdom on the rise. And no matter what they try to do and try to stop the word of God from going on, so the Lord is setting trend. The Lord is breaking through all these barriers and making his word known and establishing it and publishing it through men of the Lord. So they can't do nothing until the Lord say time up. And we know the famine of the world is going to come. We know all of that's going to come. That is sure. But God has a point in time when all these things are going to happen. And for the meanwhile, the Lord is just holding back the rage of Satan until his word is actually fulfilled and published. Can't, Pops. So read where you got the Pops.
Yes. This is Daniel, Psalms 105 and 7. He is the Lord, He is Yahweh, our power.
He's what?
He is Yahweh, our power.
Well,
His judgments are in all the earth.
He said his judgment are in what?
All the earth.
He said he's Yahweh, our power. His judgment is in all the earth. Well,
He had remembered His covenant
He had
forever.
remembered his what?
His covenant forever.
Yeah, the Lord remember his covenant forever. If we didn't remember, we would not be waking up as the Israelites. We'd still be thinking with Christians, Trinidadians, Africans, and that is as far as it goes with us. We'd still be holding out with sister. Some of us would have be on drugs or on all different spirits. But the Lord didn't make it so. The Lord didn't make it so. He remembered his covenant. That is why we're waking up all over the world. It's in that great awakening. Go ahead, Bob.
He had remembered his covenant forever.
Right.
The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations.
How long?
To 1,000 generations.
He said the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. Go ahead.
Which covenant he made with Abraham.
He said which covenant he made with what?
Abraham.
Made with Abraham. Go ahead.
And his oath unto Isaac.
And his oath unto what?
Isaac.
Yeah, he made an oath unto Isaac. Go ahead.
And confirmed the same unto Jacob.
He said he confirmed that same covenant unto what? Unto Jacob. Go ahead.
For a law.
Go ahead.
And to Israel for an everlasting covenant.
You see, unto Israel for a what? For an everlasting covenant. Mm-hmm.
Saying unto thee unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance.
Well,
when they were but a few men in number, very few and strangers in it.
Go ahead.
Then they went from one nation to another, and from one kingdom to another people.
Yeah, Israel suffered terribly under the hands of the heathen, from one kingdom to another kingdom, and from one people to another people, in servitude to these people. And really and truly, we are the earth rightful rulers, because he is the earth rightful ruler. So therefore, the kings, as the scriptures say, he said the kingdoms of this world will become the kingdom of our Lord, and the Lord and his Christ. And we shall reign on the earth. Right, Pops?
Yeah. He suffered no man to do them wrong.
Yeah, because the Lord said, he said, though that, he said, although we went in slavery, the Lord said he never suffered them to do what's wrong. We mean to say he never suffered them to kill us out.
Go on.
Read.
Yea, he reproved them.
He reproved kings
for their sakes.
Yeah, the Lord said he even take down kings for the sake. Even Nebuchadnezzar he brought down low for our sakes. Go ahead.
Saying, touch not mine anointed, and do my people no harm.
Write it on that. He said, saying, touch not my anointed, and do what? My prophets no harm. Jump to verse 27 here.
Yeah. They showed his signs among them, and wonders in the land of Ham.
Yeah, in Africa. The land of Ham represents Africa. So for you stupid Christians who think we are Africa, we are not African, but we dwell in the land of Ham. Israel, we being in Africa was a customary thing. Always running to the land of Ham. Always fighting against the Hamites, the Jebusites, the Perizzites. What do you think these nations was? They were fireball Hamites, Africans. And we always fighting against them. So ain't nothing new under the sun. But hey, it's all good. So that he give me Psalms 22 verse 28.
Psalms 22.
Verse 28. Psalms chapter 22, verse 28. Yeah. Come on.
Psalms 22, verse 28. Right, yes, yes. What?
Go ahead, Pops.
Right. This is Psalms 22, the 22nd verse, and the 28th. The 22nd chapter and the 28th verse. For the kingdom is the Lord's.
For who?
The kingdom is the Lord's.
For the kingdom is the Lord. The kingdom, this kingdom is the Lord.
And
even though Esau ruling it,
Quran.
Yahweh is the earth rightful ruler. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh is the earth rightful ruler.
Quran.
Because the Yahweh gave all things into the hand of Yahweh Shai. So he becomes the earth rightful ruler.
Quran.
Real.
And he is the governor among the nations.
And he is the what?
The governor among the nations.
And he's the governor among the nation. Yeah, he come to govern the nation.
Quran.
When you read Daniel, I'm going to read Daniel. I brought that scripture out last night, but I'll still bring it back out there again. When you read Daniel chapter 7, verse 9, he said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancient of days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheel as burning fire. So the kingdom of this world has become the kingdom of the Lord and his Christ, his Mashiach. And we the saints going to reign upon the earth and reign over the wicked. Can? Yeah, so give me
That's one. Another precept.
Oh, you have a precept here. Bring your precept.
7 and 8. Yes, and 8.
I want to get Luke, if I can get it. Luke 12 and 32.
Yes, I'm going to Psalms 47 and 8.
Where?
Yahweh reigneth over the heathen.
Yahweh what?
Reigneth over the heathen.
Yeah.
Yahweh sitteth upon the throne of his holiness.
Where?
The princes of the people are gathered together. Even the people of Yahweh, of Abraham, for the shield of the earth belongeth unto Yahweh. He is greatly exalted.
And read Psalms 48.
Psalm 48, right?
Right there. No, look at
Yes, right. Psalm 48. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised in the city of our God, in the mountain of his holiness. Beautiful for situation. The joy of the whole earth is among Zion.
Yeah, and that is a future prophecy.
On
because right now, Zion, as we know, is being trodden down by the Gentiles.
On the side
until the time of the Gentile be fulfilled. Now we living in the time of the fulfillment.
Yes.
Right? Because the Israelites now is rising all over the world to proclaim back the inheritance which the Lord gave us.
Yes.
And how are we proclaiming back our inheritance through this word? Through the gospel. So read it over again. Great is the Lord.
Great is the Lord, greatly to be praised.
So
in the city of God.
Well,
in the mountain of his holiness.
In the mountain of his holiness. Well,
beautiful for situation. The joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion.
He said beautiful for situation. The joy of the whole earth is what?
Mount Zion. On the side of the north, the city of the great king.
He said on the side of the north, the city of the great king. Go ahead.
Yahweh is known in our places.
In our palaces.
In our palaces for a refuge.
Well.
For lo, the king were assembled. They passed by together. They saw it. And so they marveled. They were troubled and
hissed away.
Well, fear took hold upon them there, and pain as of a woman in travail.
Well,
Thou breakest the ship of Tarshish,
with an
east wind.
So the Lord had meant to view and see what is to come. And they were troubled in the spirit and hastened away. And the Lord and they men took record. That's how David could write this psalm. Men took record and realized that the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion. Beautiful for situation is the city of our God. You understand? And David was established as King of Kings in those days.
Yes.
You understand? So we know for a fact that it's coming back again. Now what the Israelites get back our heritage, the Lord says it's coming back again. It will no more be trodden down by the Gentiles anymore.
No.
It is coming back again. Yahweh Shai is going to destroy these heathens, put them in chain, and all you wicked nations that did evil to the children of Israel, you're going in chain, and he's going to establish Mount Zion forever. Now what the word Mount Zion, what the word Zion or Mount Zion mean? It means monument of the Lord. First he's establishing his prophets. And the prophets is publishing his word throughout the whole world. That is how we become monuments of Zion right now. But this whole world is going to return to the earth rightful ruler or rulers, and the Lord say, and we shall reign on the earth. So the joy of the whole earth is what? Is Mount Zion. Beautiful for situation. Right?
Yes.
Let me get Luke chapter 12 verse 32. He said, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. I'll say it again. This is Luke chapter 12 verse 32. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Now, who is that little flock? That little flock type in the remnant, the elect of the nation of Israel. You understand? That is they who will inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Give me Isaiah 40 and 11, Pops.
Isaiah 40
and 11. I'll read verse 33 here. Sell that ye have and give alms. Provide yourself bags and wax, not old. Provide yourself bags which wax not old. A treasure in the heavens that faileth not. Where no thief approacheth, neither no moth corrupteth. The Lord say, this kingdom, no thief can approach it, nor moth corrupt this thing here. Right? And we'll get Matthew 19 and 21. Matthew 19 and 21. Yeah, you have it, Pops?
Matthew, yeah.
No,
It is
scripture, yeah.
47 and 21 and 47 and 11.
Yeah, it's in, Isaiah 40 and 11.
Isaiah 40 and 11.
Yes, that's right.
Let me sit down.
Let me help you. It'll take 2 minutes. Hold on. There's some part pieces, yeah? So, 41. Right, there's a 40 here. And 11 which will be around here. Go all here. Well,
this is Isaiah 40. Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 11.
Well,
he shall feed his flock like a shepherd.
He shall what?
He shall feed his flock like a shepherd.
Well,
with his arms, like a shepherd. He gathered the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom.
He gathered the lambs type in the Israelites. With his arm and carry them in his bosom. Now his bosom, for those of you who don't understand deep scriptures, his bosom represents the chariots.
The chariot.
Like the salvation of our God coming to take us away. Well,
and shall gently lead those that are with him.
With the young.
That are with the young, yes, that was young.
Yeah, and read verse 12.
Who had measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and hills in a balance.
Verse 13.
who had directed the spirit of Yahweh, or being his counselor, had taught him.
Yeah, that's a question they asked. Who have taught him? Nobody. Go ahead. Verse 14.
With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him,
Yeah, go ahead.
and taught him in the path of judgment.
Yeah, he said, who taught him in the path of judgment? Go ahead.
And taught him knowledge, and showed to him the way of understanding. Who could do that?
Nobody has done that.
Question.
He has a question. Verse 15.
Behold, nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the island as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to him, nor beast thereof sufficient for burning offering. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity.
That is what I say. So they counted him less than nothing and vanity. It's just to show you that the saints of Yahweh will possess the kingdom of heaven. There ain't no room for no heathen with us.
No.
That's your demonic Christian teaching, oh, we will all be together, both red and yellow, black and white, their pressure is not. That is Satanism. Right? Nothing. The Bible never teach me that.
Them is wood for the fire.
Come. This is Luke chapter 19, verse 21. This is Yahushua again. And Yahushua said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Now this you're talking to the rich young Buddha. Say, sell what you have and follow me. You understand? This is beautiful. This is really beautiful. Right? So I'm going to Matthew chapter Give me Colossians 1 and 3, perhaps.
Colossians 1 and 3.
All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Can?
Colossians, I see that before, but it's
the Colossians is in the epistle. If here, I go quite in the epistle.
The page that is really no problem.
Corinthians. Corinthians. Oh yes, I'll be together. Colossians.
Yeah, Colossians.
Right. Just now, let me get it for you. Colossians 1 and 3. Still like here. Colossians chapter 1 and 3. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 1 and verse 3.
Yeah.
We give thanks to the power and the Father of Father of our Yahweh, of Yahushua Mashiach, praying always for you, since we heard of your faith in Yahushua Mashiach, and of the love which ye have to all the saints, for the hope of which is laid up for you in heaven, whereof ye heard before in the word of the truth of the gospel, which is come unto you, as unto you as it is in all the world, and bringeth forth fruit as it doth also in you. Say today.
Can. We read in Colossians 1 and what?
And 3 coming up.
Salakia, 1 and 13, forgive me.
1 and 13.
Yeah. Just jump to verse 13.
Right. And the 13th verse.
Yeah.
Who had delivered us from the power of darkness, and had translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son.
You see, and translate us into the what?
In the kingdom of his dear Son.
Yeah. And the kingdom of heaven really represent the gospel first, eh?
Yeah.
That is where it all starts. By receiving the gospel, you're receiving the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Right? That is where. But do the Lord have a place prepared for us? Sure. But when he comes, he's going to translate this demonic kingdom into the kingdom of his righteousness.
Yes.
Right? That is on that.
Right.
That is on that.
Yeah.
Now, this is Matthew 25 and 31. He said, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
Fine.
He's going to sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations. Give me Matthew 16 and 27.
Can.
Right? He's going to sit upon the throne of his glory.
Matthew 6 and what?
16 and 27. No, 16.
Matthew 16 and 27 was 16, right?
Yeah, no problem. And 27 will be around. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and the verse 27.
Right.
For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works.
Verse 28.
Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not
taste death
or
till
taste of death till they see
the Son
of Man coming in his kingdom.
Till they see the Son of Man what? Coming in his kingdom. He comes to restore the kingdom. So I'll read it over. This is Matthew 25 and 31. He said, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. Verse 32. And before him he shall gather all nations, and he shall separate them. For you Christians who listen, he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd is divided his sheep from the goats. As a shepherd divided his sheep from the goat. Give me Malachi 3 and 18, Daddy. Remember Malachi 3 and 18?
I remember this. The Lord has spoken because when he said, verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste death. You tell me that one, yeah. Till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom.
Yeah.
Now, this part here, that is a promise between me and the Lord.
Go on.
I say, Lord, you will take me for?
In camera. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me, what it is?
Malachi.
Malachi 4?
Malachi. But if the Lord give you a promise, like that, and you enjoying it, all praises to the Most High. And some things, when the Lord says certain things, some things is best left to yourself. Because people doesn't understand certain things. You keep that to yourself and just watch and see what the Lord doing.
True. I did iPhone.
Malachi 3 and 18. Okay. Malachi 3 and 18. Malachi.
Oh, right before I'm saying yes.
Yeah, Malachi
3 and 18.
Malachi 3.
That's one of this page. Right page.
Malachi 3 and 18.
Malachi 2, 3.
18. Look here.
And 18.
Right here.
Yeah, Malachi 3 and 18.
Yeah.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 18.
Yeah.
Then shall he return and discern between the righteous and the wicked.
Now that word is still going to judge. He says he'll judge between the righteous and the wicked. Go ahead.
Between him that serveth
Yahweh
Yahweh and him that serveth him not.
So you know when the Lord return, ain't nothing you can hide.
Can.
If all things that was hidden shall be revealed.
You can.
You understand? All things that he was hidden shall be revealed. You can hide nothing from the Lord. The Lord know all things.
Can.
Verse 32. Before him he shall gather all nations and shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. Verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand and the goats on his left hand. Give me Psalms 45 and 9. Well, I'll get it. Psalms 45 and 9, because Psalms 45 and 9. He said, king's daughters were among the honorable women. Upon thy right hand did the queen in gold of Ophir, the gold of Ophir, right? You see, the king's daughters were among the honorable women. Yeah.
Upon thy right hand,
upon thy right hand,
did stand
the queen in gold
of Ophir.
Ophir. Yeah, Ophir. Yeah. And the queen just represent the bride. That queen would think. Now, when you look up the word queen, it's not really a rightful usage, because you look into the word queen, it means queen goes into
like a female. But this is queen as
no, but the word queen I'm talking about directly. The word queen goes into I think if everything it goes into a whore or something like that. Yeah, because the words what they use today isn't really right. But in this context here, the queen in gold of Ophir. So so the queen there stand in gold of Ophir. He said, hearken, O daughters, and consider, and incline thy ear, and forget also thy own people and thy father's house. Right? So shall the king greatly desire thy beauty, for he is thy Lord, and worship thou him. So the daughters of Zion also represent Israel. You understand? And the queen also is a representation of Israel, also standing in fine gold of Ophir. You understand? So, verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come ye, blessed of my father, and inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of this world. Again, I will Luke 12:34. I'll get James 2 and 5. I'll get it. James chapter 2 and 5. He said, Hearken, my beloved brethren, had not Yahweh chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom which is promised to them that love him. You see, the Lord has chosen the poor in faith, right? To be heirs of the promise of the kingdom to come, right? And to those that love him, right? So that's how we choose, us. You understand? I'll get Matthew 5 and 3. Matthew chapter 5 and 3. And read, he said, Blessed are the poor in spirit. He said, it's a beautiful thing. He said, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. He said, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Can?
Yes.
Yeah. So, one more scripture I'll get, just rounds it up. You understand?
Can.
Is Revelation 21.
Can.
You get it, Pops. Revelation 21, so you will read.
Yeah, this is Revelation 21 and what verse?
Start from verse 1.
All right. Revelation 21 and 1.
Now this is New Jerusalem, which represents the kingdom of heaven. Which represents this whole kingdom is translated from Esau Edom into the kingdom of righteousness.
Go
ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1.
Well.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. And there was no more sea.
Well.
I, John, saw the holy city, Jerusalem, coming down from God, Yahweh, out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
Well, and why she was prepared as a bride adorned for her husband? Because she was fully furnished with the word.
Righteous, yes.
Fully furnished with righteousness.
Come.
Keeping all the ordinances of the Lord and furnished with the word. Well, verse 3.
Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with us.
What is the tabernacle of Yahweh? The blessed house of David that is being built this hour. That is the tabernacle of God. Well.
Know the voice, and I heard
read over verse 3.
I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them, and be their power.
Well,
Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
You see, Lord say he's going to wipe away all tears from the eyes.
You understand?
And when you read in Baruch, chapter 5, you see, put off your garment of mourning and put on the garment of jubilee, which is rejoicing, right? Go ahead.
And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying.
Because Hamashiach got the victory over all that. Well.
And neither shall be any more
pain
in the form of things.
No. You say, for the former things are passed away. That's okay.
Yeah. Pain. For the former things are passed away.
Well.
And he that sat upon the throne said,
that throne representing the chariots. You know, when you read in Ezekiel, it's talking about the throne was in the chariot. Because he says, I saw in the midst of the chariot with a wheel. In a wheel, and in the wheel, he said, one like unto the Son of Man, having a rainbow, sitting on the throne with a rainbow over his head, a rainbow circle throne. So we know for a fact the throne is really in the chariots. Well,
right. Wipe away all tears away. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new.
Well.
And he said unto me, Right, for these are true and faithful.
You say right, because these sayings, this gospel, this Bible is true and faithful. We know the Lord is not as man where to lie or where might be in error. He's not like man. He should be in error. He's beyond man comprehension. He's infallible. He's infinite.
And he knows all. Which means he knows all.
He knows all things. Where, Pops?
Yeah.
Verse 4. Verse 6. I like here.
Verse 6. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely.
Which is his gospel.
Well, he that overcometh shall inherit all things.
Which is the kingdom of heaven. He shall inherit the whole earth. The kingdom of heaven, which is prepared for us. Read.
And I will be his power.
And it will be power. The word God just simply means power. For those of Christians who are listening and don't understand, every time we say we use the word power, God, we don't use the word God. Anything can be a God. We say power.
Yes.
Because it's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For you dumb Christians who don't know. And the reason why I keep at this shake you all up like that for, because you too much under the white man
backside, the backside.
Yeah, you much it on his tail, man, for you to be in that slow thinking mind. And I ain't talking about just any Christian, I'm talking about the Israelite who under Christianity. Get out.
Can.
Get out. Like the movie called Get Out.
Yeah,
Get out.
Yeah.
Well.
And I'll be his God, his power, and he shall be my son.
Yeah.
But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable.
No, he said, this is a rebuke here. He said, but the fearful and unbelieving and an we can't do abominable thing.
And
when the Sabbath coming, when the Sabbath coming in, we must prepare ourselves for the Sabbath. We can't go in a club and drink and do all kinds of folly.
True.
We can't kiss another man's wife. We can't do all them kinds of folly and wickedness. It's not right in the sight of God. Prepare yourself right and make yourself right before the Lord. That's why verse 8 says, for the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers. A whoremonger is a man who running down 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 women who in the world and who also worshiping idol gods too. That it all goes back into that. And sorcerers and idolaters and liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. That is the gospel. Verse 9. And there came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, and I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife, which is the elect. And he carried me away in the spirit unto a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from Yahweh. What are you talking about? You're talking about we coming down from those chariots. Verse 11, having the glory of Yahweh, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, like unto a jasper stone, clear as crystal. Verse 12, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the 12 gates 12 angels, and the names written therein, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. See, Christians, no heathen going into the kingdom of heaven. You know, Chinese gate, and Indian gate, and Syrian gate, or in this case, you know, all of us together gate.
No.
It have 12 gates and 12 angels.
Yeah.
And 12 tribes have to pass through that. If you're not part of those 12 tribes, you're just not there. So no Indian, no Chinese, no Syrian, no, well, the white man is the devil. He not being there. And all them nations that you all trying to save will not be there. They're going to be slaves, but they're going to be saved for slavery.
The white man is pork.
Yeah, he cannot be there. How you going to be there? How you going to be there?
When you clean him and scrape him, he comes just like the white pork and the right man.
Yeah, he's not going to be there.
That's all.
Right? Praise the Lord, Yahweh Shema Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. Let me jump to verse 25. And the gates of it shall not be shut day, Salakia, and the gates of it shall not be shut day by day, for there shall be no night there. Verse 26. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nation into it. All nations going to flow into it, and we realize that the God of Israel is the power. But how they going to flow? They're going to flow because they will be subdued unto Israel. Israel will subdue them, and they're going to be under full subjection. Verse 27, and there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defile, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. So if your name is written in the Lamb's book of life, shall be your portion. I'll read one more scripture. This is Revelation 22 verse 17. He said, the Spirit and the bride say, Come. And let him that hath thirst say, Come. And let him that heareth say, Come. And let him that hath thirst say, Come. And whosoever will, let him come. A Christian will read that about the sea, but I'm the God, the country is in the side, because look, he just say whosoever. No. The audience wasn't to the whole world. The audience was to the nation of Israel, not to the whole world. Right? And whosoever will, let him come and take of the water of life freely. Verse 11. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words. Another thing they go say, they say, look, he's saying every man. Yeah, but every man will hear it. You know. We do have a point in what we see, right? The kingdom of heaven is for the Israelite, but if the heathens hear it, they know that their judgment is soon. So he testified to every man.
Yeah.
To the heathens, they know they're going in slavery.
Portion, yes.
They know their portion, and the Israelites, we know our portion.
Yeah.
So every man testifies. Yeah. Sure, right.
Going to your own place.
So I testify unto every man that hear the words of this, of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues which are written in this book. So we the Israelites don't add. We tell it, thus says the Lord, because we just read the Bible line upon line, precept upon precept, according to Isaiah 28 and 9. Verse 19, and if any man shall take away from the words of this book, which you Christians do a lot, take away from the book of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city from the things which are written in this book. Verse 20, he which testified these things said, surely I come quickly. This is our prayer. Surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so now, even so come Lord Yahushai. The grace of Yahushai HaMashiach be with you all. Amen. This is James. I'm sorry. This is John, the Revelator, and his conviction or his testimony on what he saw and what the Lord thinks. So he could, the only thing he could afford to say, the grace of the Lord be with you all. Even so come now, Lord Yahushai HaMashiach. Yeah, we heralding the coming of the Lord. We hastening the coming of the Lord. We hastening the prophecies coming to pass. We heralding the coming of the Lord. But the Lord say, patience with me, for all these things must be fulfilled. So we see the fulfillment of prophecy. And the kingdom of heaven belongs to the Israelites. And the Israelites alone. They shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. Because the Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. Alright, with that, we want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Hashem Rakak with that, we say Barakah to Yahweh, Barakah to Yahushai, Barakah to Yahweh, Barakah to Yahushai, Barakah to Yahweh, Barakah to Yahushai, Tapalatia Shemai Ita. Hear my prayer, O Lord, power of Israel. Asher Shabbat to all the brothers all over the world who doing the right Sabbath. You know? And hey, I pray that, the Lord, that brothers who backslide, they repent and come in. The Bible says, thou shalt not hate the brothers in your heart, thou shalt love thy brother, but in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. To the aqua that listen a little, we say shalom. And keep the fire burning, Akiams all over the world, and loving the videos, brothers doing the works, going out. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But I got to say shalom.